My name is Deirdre McCann, better known as D. McCann, and I really began helping people over 40 years ago, completing forms to make sure they were getting the correct benefit. And then that spiraled out of control. So because people were so good, I then decided I would help one charity every year, and had decided that this was going to be my last ever fundraising. But without doubt, it has surpassed all my expectations.
Well, we'll come to the current one at the moment, because we can show in a moment or two. Either you have this desire to have lots of toys in your house, or this is part of your collection this time, right?
No, part of the collection.
I don't think I've ever seen a front room with so many toys. Not even with multi amount of children upstairs coming down on Christmas morning. It's filled with stuff, and we'll talk about it in a little while.
Yeah.
Let me bring you back to those early days. What drew you to helping others, or a desire to do that?
The late and great John Hume asked me, would I like to help the people on the ground, because that's what the party stood for, and maybe by completing some benefit forms for them. So I told him I would do it for a year. 40 years later, I'm still doing it, and I have been inundated. And the amount of reviews on my helping the community speak for themselves. I've never, thank goodness, ever lost one case.
And you do these for just about everybody in the area?
Well, and beyond. Rostrevor, Strangford, County Offaly, Dublin, Portstewart, Bangor, even though it was only supposed to be ABC. But I couldn't turn people away. But I never charged a fee. I was just so delighted to get it for them. And when that year was up, before I knew it, I was still continuing helping.
And this was despite working at other activities too, of course.
Yes, being involved with Lurgan Operatic Society, which took up a lot of my time. I was very, very lucky, very honoured to be chosen as the leading contralto singer.
And what's contralto, if you're sending home a message?
There would be soprano and then alto. It would be you have soprano, mezzo soprano, and then an alto for harmonising. But you also did get solos to sing, obviously, in the shows.
So contralto, is that very high frequency?
No,
it's the lower.
Yeah, lower. Yes,
okay.
lower.
And we can hear that in your voice, actually, too.
Yeah.
So as the cushion falls, it never happened on the stage, of course. So what was that engagement like? Because it's almost like a mythical organisation to so many people.
Absolutely brilliant. I only wish it was still going today. Those were... I have so many memories. It was out of this world. And going to Waterford every September to compete in the International Festival. Oh my heavens. We used to say, what goes on in Waterford stays in Waterford.
And this was an international competition about opera.
Yes,
opera. And not
light operatic.
Light opera, not the high-end stuff.
No.
And famously, Lurgan Operatic Society would have won that World Championship in its time, way back in 1967.
You're correct. I think that's correct. The late, brilliant Mary Philbin, she actually directed the show that year. I can still remember Nora Kelly, God rest her, from Francis Street, playing Kadisha in the Mikado. I can also remember Stella McCusker singing the letter song. I never forget those. They were out of this world.
Wolsey Gracie was in the middle of that stuff too, wasn't he? He was in La Perry Cole as the jail keeper or something of that nature. Yeah, yeah.
He was in La Perry Cole as well. Wolsey was an awful man. He didn't like singing. So Ethna, the late Ethna McLaughlin, would just say to me, Dee Dee, go and have a practice with Wolsey and beat out the time. I tape it for you, and then you go down and you beat out the time until Wolsey is 100%. And I tell you, we had some crack during that. I ended up being secretary, then I was treasurer. I was always on the committee. Again, at that stage, going around looking patrons. I just seemed to be begging all my life. But nothing will ever take away those memories.
And it largely ended in the 90s, didn't it?
Yeah.
And it was one of those strange phenomena. I think, from memory, it started off as a Catholic men's kind of group, and then morphed into a cross-community kind of situation.
Which we all wanted, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because we had people from all walks of life coming to the show. It was just something I really, really loved. And I do have photographs of having to dress up as a clown. I also have photographs of being padded out with all these cushions for my outfit to go over. And that was playing Ruth in, let me see now, The Pirates of Penzance. And I never laughed as much as what I did. And Ethna was shouting at me. This was during the show. God rest Jack Linus, Mickey O'Reilly and myself. We were doing a trio. And you had to fall back. When Jack fell back, his wig came off, and being like myself, not having your glasses on, when I turned round, Jack had the wig on back to front. Well, I couldn't, and I don't have good eyesight, so I was trying to fix this, and I was making it 10 times worse, and the audience were in convulsions. But Ethna was, playing the intro for me to keep singing. And normally I would have jumped when Ethna said something. That night, I think it must have been 5 minutes before we continued, and the name of the song was A Paradox. And I'll never forget that to the day I die. It was unbelievable.
We'll come back and get some more memories from you from that era. Bringing it up to today, and the reason why we're talking to you, this kind of time round, you're collecting toys. You're about to collect some more new toys as well. People have been donating. What happens to the toys, and how does this raise the money and awareness?
Right. I have a page on Facebook called Helping the Community, and basically any monies that are donated, say for example the £1,200-1,300 worth of items that'll be coming in. All receipts go in there. If we need any money out of it, there's very little left. You have to sign for it and you have to put your receipt back in. Thankfully we don't have to do that too much. But that's where the money goes. Then we purchase electricity, gas and food hamper vouchers, and we hand those out to the people who really, really need them the Christmas week. And we help families struggling to exist by letting them come down, choose whatever toys they want. And it's a lovely feeling when someone is going out of your house and hugs you and thanks you. And it really is a lovely, lovely feeling. And the people in Lurgan are unbelievable with the amount of help they have given me this year. Being my last fundraiser, it has spiraled out of control and really has exceeded all my expectations. So I'm so pleased to be going out on a bang.